That's a nice fish right there. That fish will work. We'll take them like that all day. And has a sweet sugar too. But it's an old spinnerbait, and you see it's got just a regular old painted head. We use a living rubber skirt on it as opposed to silicone. And it's got a safety pin type bend on it, so it's a round bend. And all these all these baits right here are just like old fashioned, but when it's got such a short arm, and the blade causes so much vibration that arm just wiggles back and forth like that. I wanted to share with you exactly why a Redman spinnerbait will be the fish catching spinnerbait that you've ever caught, but I'll do that in another video. I wanted to really just visit with you a little bit and tell you the story about a Redman spinnerbait. You know, I started building these spinnerbaits way back when I was in college, and the original spinnerbaits we designed back when I was just a little kid. We were designing spinnerbaits. We were designing them from safety pins, and that's one of the reasons this particular bait right here has got a safety pin bend on it. If you will kind of look at that and just imagine in your mind that that's a safety pin. This would be the sharp end right up here where you put the little bend in it and you put the blade on. This would be the sharp end of the safety pin. This would be the part of the safety pin that had the receiver on it down here where you would snap that into that and have your safety pin so you can safety pin things together. We would buy safety pins and actually cut this part off down here and mold a hook on there in a jig head. We'd take the part up here and put a little bend on it and put a blade assembly on there with a swivel and an O-ring and a blade. And that's why they were called safety pin spinners, is what they were called to begin with. And that's what we did as kids, to build spinnerbaits, and that's, you know, pretty much what they look like. The Redman spinnerbait is named after Northeastern State University, the college that I went to, and they were the Northeastern Redman. They have since changed that name to the Riverhawks with all of the wokeness and the thing that's gone on in America, changing names of mascots. I was proud to be a Northeastern University Redman. That was a great thing, and I was really proud of our sports programs up there. But we named that bait the Redman spinnerbait, and I actually built those baits when I got out of college in the back of my insurance office, and we built literally thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. And we had one main account. There was a guy over in Bentonville, Arkansas that started a little store called Walmart, and his name was Sam Walton. And I actually sold Sam Walton spinnerbaits when he only had 13 stores. That's right, 13 stores is all he had. And do you know, I could not hardly build enough spinnerbaits to supply those 13 stores. Because one of the things we did, and this is what I told Sam, I said, we will put the exact right color baits in the right stores that you have, your 13 stores. And where if you're fishing a lake like 10 Killer, I'll have the right color stores. And the Tahlequah, Oklahoma store, I think was store number 9. I may not be exactly correct on that, but it was, I think, store number 8 or 9, which is not but about 80 miles from Bentonville, so it was kind of close by. All the stores were in that area. Fort Smith, Arkansas was one of the great ones. Fort Smith, Arkansas store was right on the Arkansas River, which was extremely muddy a big part of the year. And we had found out that they bit a purple spinnerbait better in that muddy water. And so we sold literally tens of thousands of purple spinnerbaits for people to fish that Arkansas River with. And like I said, we couldn't hardly build those spinnerbaits fast enough. We built them, we just had rack after rack after rack. We built racks out of wood, had dowel pins going through them, and notched them with a grinder, a little bit of a grinder there, notched them where the bait would hang on there. As we built them, we'd mold them, we'd hang them on there, we'd put blades on them, we'd put skirts on them, we'd paint them, we'd go through the processes. Each one of them held 144 baits, 144 baits. And those racks made out of wood, we made all this stuff by hand, we made it all. And it was just amazing how many spinnerbaits they sold. If you're fishing on the Tahlequah store over here, a blue and chartreuse, because fishing Lake 10 Killer, the Illinois River, over here, a lot of clear water. So depending on where those stores were located, we built the colors specifically for those stores. And back in those days, Sam Walton hired people in the sporting goods department that were the very best fishermen in the area. So they knew the right colors, and we would provide the exact right colors for those stores. And we couldn't build spinnerbaits fast enough. We just absolutely couldn't build spinnerbaits fast enough. And that is how the Redman spinnerbait actually got started. I later sold that spinnerbait to to Bill Norman, and Bill Norman made that bait for a long time, and I simply drew a rollie off of it, and the bait kind of went away out of the marketplace, and we're bringing that bait back through Lucky Strike Lures. I've designed the baits just awfully close to the way they were, and we brought them back, and we will be selling them all over the United States, and I'm going to do another video here that will show you exactly why the Redman spinnerbait will catch more fish than any spinnerbait you've ever tied on in your life, unless you're an old guy and you fished with the original Redman spinnerbaits yourself. But the amount of spinnerbaits that Sam Walton bought was just incredible for a young man just getting out of college and trying to build spinnerbaits and sell insurance at the same time. We would sell insurance all day and we'd build spinnerbaits all night. And Chris and I built so many spinnerbaits. It was just absolutely amazing. I can remember back when Jamie was about 3 or 4 years old that he got in the back room of our insurance office one time where we had all these racks and racks of spinnerbaits, and like a little 3 or 4 year would do, he pulled one of those racks of spinnerbait over on him. When he did, 2 or 3 of them fell on him. And he started screaming and hollering and fighting those spinnerbaits, and they all had a big sharp 4/0 hook in them. And when we got back there, he had spinnerbaits hanging all over him. They were stuck in every part of his body. And we were kids, we were panicking. We thought we'd kill the young boy, and just absolutely scared to death. And we got him calmed down and settled down. Of course, he was hurting because he had hooks sticking in him all over. And do you know, and I guess that they say that God protects fools and children. He's protecting the fool, me, and children, Jamie. Not a single Redman spinnerbait was stuck below the barb. Every one of them was stuck. Some of them were stuck where they just almost went through the barb, but not quite. And we were able to pick every spinnerbait out of his body all around, and so there's no damage done. But that is the story of the famous world famous Redman spinnerbait. Spinnerbait that I won, the very first BASS Angler of the Year title that I won it on a Redman spinnerbait. And I won tournament after tournament after tournament. It's caught so many fish, it's amazing. And now we've got it for the world to fish. And can I tell you, there are very few fishermen that are old enough to remember fishing the Redman spinnerbait. There are no bass that remember what this bait looked like or sound like in the water. So when you throw this thing into your favorite fishing place, the bass have never seen or heard that sound before, and you will whack them, I promise you.